currently on a baby rescue. Becky, do you have any more information?
No, not really. We are on the way to Checkers just now. Dave has had a baby dropped to him at Checkers. He's on the daily shop or the weekly shop, and somebody's just bought him a baby. So we're on the way to pick that one up, and then after that we're on the way to Bekky to pick up another baby. Dave was told about yesterday. They brought it from Polokwane, which is about an hour and a half away from here. We're going to go to Bekky, which is a little bit closer to us. That one looks to be about the same age as Paddy or Felix. That's the only thing I know about it. Other than that, we'll find out when we get there.
You sure it's only been 4 or 5 days?
I don't know.
Looks like you've had him a bit longer than that. He seems to love you a lot.
No, I had to take him to work and everything.
Alright. Come on, little boy. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. No, don't worry. That's okay.
I would rather give everything then.
There we go.
Thank you.
Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Ma.
We will be taking you back. Thank you.
Right. Well, not all days turn out as you expect them to. I was coming out to do the 2 weekly shopping, and I had sent Bekky to go and rescue another monkey out in Bekky when somebody contacted me that they had this little monkey for me, and could I come and fetch it. They'd brought it all the way through from Polokwane. So I had to quickly divert everything that we were doing. We stopped and picked up this little one from this lady that you saw earlier. As you can see, she was kind of distraught. It is fantastic that people do help where they can and get these little ones to us as soon as they can, so that we can get them into a program. But as you can see, this little guy's a little bit bigger than normal. So we're going to have to try and get him a mom fairly fast, because he's sort of at that point where he doesn't want to be with the mom anymore. He wants to go and explore. So his integration is probably going to be a lot quicker, and we'll see what the one from Bekky is going to be like. Well, Becky's just arrived to come collect this little one for us, and then she'll be on her journey to go and pick up the other one in Bekky.
Yep, definitely a boy. Very obviously a boy. Yes, for boys. Yeah.
How old do you think he is?
We are over 8 weeks, 100%. And because you are so big, one would assume you might have been kept as a pet, because you are large and in charge. Very dark face, so that usually is after 8 weeks. Crown is after 8 weeks. That comes in 7 to 8 weeks, but it's quite defined. So probably looking closer to 3 months.
Well, Becky's just arrived in Bekky, and this is the second little monkey we're picking up today.
Oh, we got another boy.
Yep, it's a boy.
Hey, little big boy. And what happened to this one?
And we were visiting my brother-in-law and them, and then the children went to walk on the farm, and then they came back with a baby. They found the mommy dead with the baby.
Oh, oh, boys. And how long ago was that?
It was on Saturday.
Saturday, okay. That's not that long ago, kiddo.
Yeah.
Well, our rescue team have just arrived at the foundation, bringing these 2 little ones with them, so we can give them a once over, see how things are, get their proper age and weight, and then of course a program will be worked out for these little guys to see how we're going to get them foster mums as soon as possible.
Got a name?
It's a big boy. This one's unnamed yet.
Look, you finally met. There's 2 of you. Hello. Oh, boys.
What's the other one story? I know one was a snake, right?
This one was a snake, and then was kept for a few days, / maybe longer. And then this one was a lady went to see her family. Some kids went on a walk and they found a dead mom and him, and then they tried to see if the troop would come back, and they didn't. So
Here's Nils and Mortadelo. Nils outside, Mortadelo in the cage. In Neverland, looking for more food. Apparently they wolfed it down. Here he is, that's Mortadelo. Eating what's left. Both doing really well in the feeding cage, apparently.
So the one thing you'll notice is these guys are a lot more agile. They're getting around a lot easier, jumping around, checking what's going on. They're fully aware of their situation, and that's just because they're much older monkeys. So we have to be very, very quick with these guys, as I said earlier, because the mothers only like the little ones up to about the age of 3. Otherwise they become very independent, like these two at the moment. So they want to really go out and play with each other, play with the other little orphans that are born kind of at this time. And that makes it a problem trying to get them to attach to a foster mom. You can see it's taken them no time at all to learn this feeding cage and where their milk is, how to drink it. So they're in and out of it, of the cage already without any problems. Well, you can see basically how confident these little ones are around Chai, who's actually looking after them at the moment. So she was part of the group that went and picked them up and brought them through. But you can see they're not really scared with humans or anything like that. So it's difficult sometimes to say how long they've actually been in the people's care. Fortunately, both groups of people were very good to these monkeys. They looked after them very well, so they have been fed nicely. It's just the hard part is, as you saw with the one lady, it's very, very difficult to give these little guys up, especially when you've rescued them from a situation where their moms died, and they sort of turn to you and cling on to you for that security and stuff like this, and you easily get attached to them, which becomes a real big problem. And the longer, of course, you keep them, the harder and harder the process is to rehabilitate these little guys. So that's our biggest worry, and one of the reasons we try and get them out of people's hands as fast as possible. So these two are quite old already, so it's quite worrying for us. We're going to try and introduce them as soon as possible to some of the females, to see if we can get them out fairly quickly, because they're on their 3 months of age group, and they should have already been introduced to foster moms. Foster moms don't really, or I should say, are not as keen to have them once they reach the 3-month mark. So we have to try and do everything before they reach that age and make sure they've got moms, and the moms are happy with them and ready to take them out of the enclosure.
All right, darling, I'm sorry. We're sorry. We're sorry. Okay, that's gone. How to get it to do
put it
it.
back on.
Nils and Mortadelo playing a lot.
The squeaking is an excitement for the food, and actually being scared that you're going to miss out on something nice, and your friend's actually eating what you want. So basically they can't eat the nice pieces fast enough, and just scared somebody else is going to get something better than them. So that's why you'll constantly hear this little squeaking noise going on. Well, with all the little ones, we do have to give them a little bit of a bath every now and again, especially when we've just got them in. Sometimes it's basically shampoos to help with fleas and things like this. So it's all natural stuff that we use that will either be herbal based to really get rid of fleas and things like that, especially when they come from people's homes that have got dogs and cats and things like that. Sometimes this causes a lot of itchiness. And then sometimes when we've got them in cages together, of course it's not easy for them to defecate in one area. They just don't seem to mind, and they do get covered in a little bit of feces. So now and again we just got to give them either a good clean when they first get here, and then a little bit of a wash now and again, which is just basically removing anything that they've stood in or around their behinds or anything like this to keep them fairly clean. I have mentioned in other videos they do have like an oil that gets released from their skin that gets onto their coat, which helps protect them in the wet weather and things like this. So you don't really want to destroy that type of thing.
So we're just in Neverland at the moment with Mortadelo on the left and Nils on the right. We're just going to go up to the D&D intro cage with these guys with Chai, our volunteer. So we're going to head up there now. So we're just going to take them up now. So we'll put the blanket on them and we're going to take them up. D&D is one of our top section enclosures, so we're just gonna walk up past main feed.
We get asked quite often why we cover the little babies or the cage in a blanket. Well, this is basically so that the bandits can't see that we're carrying little monkeys around. It also stops the little ones crying so much if they see other monkeys, because monkeys don't like humans having little babies, and if they do see them, we are prone to get attacked with them trying to rescue the little ones from us. So it's just a safety precaution, and also stops the little ones getting frightened when they're seeing adults around.
Nils and Mortadelo have only been with us since 5-6 days, so to be able to go straight from quarantine to the intro cage is amazing.
So of course these two have done very well, but a lot's to do with their age. So as you hear, the time period has been very, very short to get them up to the intro cage, and sort of get them now used to other monkeys as well, because that's also got to happen. Just remember, in a lot of cases they haven't seen another monkey since they've actually been looked after by their foster parents. So we've got to make sure they get used to the monkeys and that they learn a couple of behaviors before we let a foster mom in. Otherwise things aren't going to work so well. But these two seem pretty confident in themselves, so we'll see how things go.
So this is Nils up first and then Morty. And we've got some visitors. Looks like some adult males and some juveniles.
Well, as you probably all heard, This is our 30th year anniversary, and we're trying to make the most of it and revamp all the enclosures around the foundation, as some of them, as you realize, have been here for over 30 years and really need some work done. So please, if you can contribute or get others to contribute, share the link, get people involved. Where you see the 30th year anniversary, please share where you can. Well, there we have a koya in the distance. She's a 2020 female. Just having a look at our little orphans to come and see. Alea, and of course Fiona, you all know, she's the one missing her arms, all showing a lot of interest in these new little guys. Well, one wonders what these two little ones are actually thinking, like sitting out there just pondering what's going on in the enclosure on the outside, wondering if they're ever going to go out there and who these monkeys are, where they came from, what are they all doing here. So it must be a fairly strange experience for these little guys, just to see what's actually going on in the big outside world.
This side, you know the holes? It's a bit tight, so it's tight, they're tight holes.
I know, but they can't get in.
Today is the second day for Nils and Mortadelo in D&D intro cage, and they are super confident approaching the fence, interacting with adult monkeys. They are very independent, and that's super good, so they can meet moms very soon. They are drinking from the feeding.
Well, just look at this amazing interaction here with Shanae. It just shows you how brave these little ones are. They're really looking forward to getting a mom. Isn't this simply amazing? I mean, they haven't really even met, and here's Shanae. They're holding hands, touching each other, and it's really, these are the little moments that are so special. That one always wishes you can get on camera, and sometimes we just miss those moments and sort of can't bring them to you. But this is like a lovely little clip here of them meeting a foster mom.
Nils, the one that was touching the adult, and Mortadelo is trying to eat a leaf. Another visit.
Unfortunately, we do have to have what we call this chicken wire, or these small wired holes, just for the safety of the babies in the initial stages, because naturally you can't say what's going to happen with them. But yeah, it's just for their own protection. I'm sure they get picked up and cuddled under these circumstances.
Oh, this is Nils with a female in D&D.
Shanae, you've all met before. She was arrived in 2010, and she's been part of the original D&D troop ever since then. Also a very, very good dedicated foster mom. Aaliyah and Candy. Aaliyah, of course, from 2020, and Candy from 2021. Well, Nils and Mortadelo certainly are not shy with the new ones. Shanae seems to be really interested at the moment. And yeah, we have Melandro coming up just to see how things are going and to introduce herself. So I'm sure these little ones are going to have a choice of foster moms to look after them. I just love how everybody sort of lined up there staring at these new little ones, just waiting to give them a hug. Some of you might remember Melandro. Melandro came in 2010, so she is one of the original troop members. She's also a very good foster mom, has kind of kink in her tail. She's not very high ranked, so she does have to watch herself every now and again.
Nils and Mortadelo with one of the males.
There in the distance you see Chester, a 2014 male brought up by Honey Bear. Here of course we have Scully. He's one of the largest males on the foundation, also arrived in 2010. He was found in the back of a train in a coal bunker and rescued by the SPCA in Palaboa and brought through to us. So has got a bit of a history, but a very nice male.
And we have already a female who is interested.
Yes, Cheyenne, she was fostered by Melandro and she fostered Helia. So she's also been in the troop and another good foster mom. Nala, another female from 2010. She doesn't seem too interested, not like Cheyenne. But yeah, I don't think these little ones are going to have too much of a problem getting foster moms at all.
They're hearing the sun there.
Nils with a bag.
It's remarkable the interest they show in strange little insects and things like that. Nothing sort of goes through their mind that this can actually bite or sting or anything like that. It's first got to try and play with it, and of course the next thing it tries to do is put it into its mouth to see if it takes okay. But it is quite funny when you get some of these bugs that can give you a little nip or a sting or something like this, and just their reaction. Fortunately this wasn't one of them, but it's just kind of cute to have a look at their little faces as they're so intense and interested in what they found.
Working through the branches and the pipes, he's doing amazing. Mortadelo going out of the feeding cage. And the big boy Nils. Mortadelo drinking from the feeding cage in the D&D intra cage. He's doing awesome. And he's gonna be ready to meet foster moms quite soon. Drinking from the feeding cage in the D&D intra cage. Nils and Bobby. I think that is Bobby socializing.
Barney is a little male that arrived in 2019.
Eating some marulas.
Marulas are fruit that grows in abundance on trees in South Africa, on a marula tree. It has very, very high in vitamin C and has a very tart kind of taste, almost citrusy.
Nils and Mortadelo eating marulas.
So of course it's good for the little ones to be trying these, because this is something that they're going to find naturally out in the wild, and at the right season baboons and a lot of the other animals come around, not just to the foundation but to other areas, really to collect and eat this particular fruit.
Nils eating some grass.
Well, of course, the big moment has begun, and unfortunately we did miss the first female coming into the enclosure. Sometimes it's very, very difficult with low numbers on volunteers to keep an eye on everything, and the concentration is more onto who we're letting in at the period of time more than trying to film. So you've got to excuse the moments where we don't actually manage to get the initial contact or entrance of the females. But it is very, very difficult because somebody's working the ropes. You've got another person watching what's going on and giving instructions, and it's not always possible to have a camera in your hand at the same time.
Nils drinking. This is Morty, Nils and Hazel. At the minute, Nils interacting a lot, but mostly just being very playful. Not necessarily cuddling or looking to be mummed. He's just gone in for a drink. But these guys so far have been very, very comfortable with the adults being in there, especially Nils. So this is Honey Bear at the bottom.
So of course this integration will be slightly different to others because of the age of these little ones. They don't really want to be hugged by moms as such, although they do want the love. So it's normally when they're going to sleep or later on or when they get tired that they're going to go up to the moms and look for attention, but during the day they're going to want to play. Again, the moms are also taking it very easy. You can see that they haven't jumped in and just grabbed everybody. They are there. You saw their interest from outside the enclosure, but they're not just diving in and grabbing everyone.
So we're only 1 hour into the foster mom integration, and it looks like this little group have been together for weeks. Sinead's been carrying Mortadelo. Nils is a bit more independent. He's been trying to play a lot as opposed to interacting from a mother-infant kind of way, but they were hugging up on the perch, Hazel and Nils. We just had a bit of a rainstorm. A bit of a shower. They were hugging up on the perch, so hopefully that bodes well for Nils. So hopefully we find a nice little pairing here. Sinead and Hazel get on very well. They're part of the original D&D group which formed the troop about 10 years ago. These two babies, honestly the most chill babies I've seen this year. Not phased at all. Alright, so very cool. So we've got Julian watching them this afternoon and taking notes.
So as Mark said, these little ones are very, very comfortable amongst the adults or foster moms, not showing any fear whatsoever. And as you said, you'd swear they'd been integrated weeks ago the way they're behaving. So they're not going to be a clingy bunch, although they do grab on when they need to, but doing very well at the moment.
So afternoon update at the D&D cage. We have, this is Mortadelo and Shanae. And on the right, Nils is with Hazel. So Shanae and Hazel, adult females from the troop. And everything is as is. Very chill day. Excellent integration. Baby's getting a lot of protection, support. And they look super relaxed.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us for Nils and Mortadelo's journey to finding their foster moms. Next week we'll have a little short clips of them actually going out with their moms into D&D enclosure. These two did extremely well. Also, as you said, because of their age, we had to get them through as quickly as possible, and they've done a lot better than we actually thought. So that brings us to the end of this episode. Thanks everybody for your continued support out there. PayPal's keeping us going. Unfortunately, we're very, very low on volunteers again. So if you do know anybody that's thinking of wanting to work with animals, especially with primates, give them the word, spread the word. Let's see if we can get a few more volunteers out here to help us integrate these little ones to their fantastic foster moms. Thanks for watching.